Hey guys, today we're talking with one of the stars of Real Housewives of Potomac, Miss Charrisse Jackson-Jordan. Stay tuned.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live Conversations.
Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Black Hollywood Live's Conversation. I am joined in studio with Miss Charrisse Jackson-Jordan of Real Housewives of Potomac. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really excited for this because I wanted to get one of the housewives in from Potomac because I love the series.
Thank you.
I think it is an elevated taste in what we've been seeing over on Atlanta. But I don't really want to compare it. Let's just talk about the series itself. I want to just talk about you, actually.
Okay, let's talk about
I
it.
turned on the first episode, right? And I'm watching all of the characters, because that's what I do. The Housewives are characters to me. I see Miss Karen, who's about her etiquette.
The grande dame.
The grande dame of etiquette. I see Miss Giselle. And, when I see Giselle, I kind of felt like Giselle was going to get a bigger storyline, the way they had kind of presented her on the show. And then we saw Miss Charrisse. Miss Charrisse, I saw you, and you initially, there was this warmth about you because you remind me of somebody in my life. And we saw that you have a connection with Giselle and Karen before the show, correct?
And Robin.
And Robin. Okay. So how does Katie kind of fit into this?
Well, Katie actually...
With the group.
First of all, Katie's the only one that's actually born in Potomac. So, everyone else is kind of like transplant.
Wait, Giselle wasn't?
No. Oh. She's the only... she literally grew up from birth in Potomac.
Oh, okay. And
Katie and I have a lot of mutual friends. One of my good friends, Paul Wharton, he was on another show, DC, and he referred her, and he also referred Katie. He didn't refer me, though. But,
that's fine. You made it. You here.
Yeah.
So they get you girls together. Was there any conversation between you girls as friends, like, okay, we're going to be on a TV show, like, we've seen how the other franchises can be, we don't want our friendships to get tampered with. The other thing is, we hear this, what Potomac is like, and the people of Potomac, and it was almost kind of like, well, would they want cameras in there? Did you guys kind of look at, like, is this the smart thing for me to do? What was kind of your decision as far as joining the show?
It's a little different. For me, I thought I was the junior casting director. I appointed myself that when they approached me. And so what I did was try to help them find people, because in Potomac, people would not do reality TV. It's very complicated type of situation. They have businesses, so they don't want their stuff out like that. So it's not an easy place to find people to do the show. However, what I did, I said, well, I know some people that would probably do it. So I reached out to those people, and the first one was Giselle. That was the first person I called. Robin, who I've known for 11 years, I reached out to her. I knew she was interested in reality TV, so that was a no-brainer, and then they were like, okay, Charrisse, you have all these people now, everybody knows you, we need you on the show. And I'm like, oh, I don't think that's gonna work, because the hubby, I knew he wasn't going to be a fan of it.
Okay. But if he was, you would have been more open to it, or were you kind of on the fence of it?
I was on the fence because it's Potomac, and it's everything is perception, and so I didn't want people to be like, oh, you're on that show, and automatically have like a negative thing
towards you.
Yeah, even though it's a great situation.
But which you've spoken about on the show, that you kind of felt that essence first arriving into Potomac, you kind of had felt like you might have been judged in a way?
I did. I love Potomac. I have amazing friends on Potomac. But I will say, and they probably don't want me to say it, but it's the truth. When I first moved there, when I took my kids to school, people weren't very friendly. I'm used to just saying hi to everybody. And some people would speak back, and most people would not. And when I felt they learned that my husband was the coach of the Washington Wizards, then I was like, oh, hey, let's go to lunch. Let's do this. Let's do that. But, I guess that's anytime you're the new kid on the block, you might have to
You
got
to work your way into the crowd. Okay, so that's a great way to kind of segment into this. So I'm watching the first episode, and you guys have this crab boil thing. You have this crab boil, which looked delicious, by the way.
Thank you.
Kind of get into my head let me get into your head of what really went down there. Because so you and Giselle are friends, beyond the show. Here's where it was almost like, wait, what is going on with Charrisse here? Because it came across like, I don't know. You didn't come across to me as the type of woman who would get upset with, Giselle being down in the basement. It was like the things you were complaining about. It just seemed like, Charrisse, what are you? Yes, honestly,
I legitimately was pissed off that day.
So maybe it was just the way it was chopped up. We didn't get to see the full kind of thing.
First of all,
so you invited Giselle and this man.
I didn't invite him. I didn't know him. She brought him along. And the guy comes into my house and he's talking about my hair, my clothes. I don't know this guy from Adam, so I'm just like, okay.
So first shade check, because we couldn't really tell. He walked into the house and low-key shaded you. Immediately. He's like, "Oh, I'll do your hair."
Right.
You didn't ask him?
I did not.
You were like, "Oh, hi."
I already had my people. I had people upstairs waiting for me. She was late, by the way, but I didn't point that out. Okay. I was getting ready to go get myself together when she arrived. So now that she's here, they come in, and I felt like I was like I always say a Tyler Perry Z play. It was so bad because they were just like all amped up and all of this stuff, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So then we do the little thing with the crabs, and then I'm in my kitchen, and I'm here. They're in the kitchen. I'm upstairs getting ready, and they're slamming the cabinets. Seriously, I'm like, what's going on? I'm sorry. I have a very serious mortgage. Okay, so what's going on?
Don't do none of them cabinets.
And then on top of that, this guy is coming upstairs now into my bedroom.
Okay.
That's a problem. I did not invite him to my bedroom. And I'm like, trying to nicely tell them to go back down. Oh, they're just totally amped up. I felt a sense of violation in my home. I really did. And disrespected. So
would you say, because I had two theories with this, it was either you were overreacting or Giselle was putting on for the camera.
She was doing the most.
Okay.
Giselle, I was like, who the hell is this person? Seriously, I didn't even know who she was.
And did you guys kind of have that a few times? Because there were a few times, even with Karen and Giselle, I noticed there was when they were outside at your house, it was almost like, wait, you guys said you knew each other. Like, you're talking to each other as if you guys don't know, like, have never met each other and shading. It's almost like sitting across from somebody that you've known for so long. It's like, who are you, girl?
And that's what happened. I'm like, who are you?
So then it escalates. Even more so. Karen gets involved, and then now this guy, were you threatened by him at all?
Well,
was there...
Personally, I'm never threatened by anybody. I have 5 brothers growing up.
Okay? So you know how to handle your...
I'm the youngest of 8, so I wasn't feeling threatened, but he kind of like, did this to Karen. Security,
above, beyond. We don't even make light of that.
Like she's feeling threatened that this guy is, basically saying he's going to do something to her. But
so after that, Giselle then sends you a car and this letter that is almost like a fake shift apology. What's going on in your head?
I'm just really, first of all, I didn't even want to go. I didn't even want to do the luncheon because I knew it was fake. I didn't want to be bothered with it. Seriously, in my real personal life, I have a 89-year-old father that lives in New Jersey that, back and forth dealing with that. I lost 3 siblings in a matter of 2 years. Oh, wow. So, Charrisse doesn't have time for petty. Really, and then I'm dealing with the roller coaster other situation, so I really don't have time for pettiness.
Where I started to really look deeper into you was you guys were at the whiskey tasting, and you turned and you looked at Ashley, and it was like where everyone was like low-key shading Ashley, you said, wow, she's younger than all of us, and she really just turned to Giselle and owned up.
Right.
Like, and then you got up and did it. That was, to me, was like, okay, here we go. You kind of set it off for all the ladies, I feel, with making that comment of you guys, okay, so now we're going to see the friendships, we're going to see that bond. Last week, you opened up even more, which I loved, because I think that it's a topic that most people would want to keep under the rug, or not really want to speak about. But you've been in a relationship for almost 20 years.
It's been a long time.
So, and it's so funny because I was actually, just to step to the side with this, I was talking to the producer of Zoe Ever After.
Okay.
Have you heard of that
yes,
show on BT? And she said, it was kind of based after my life. I was in a relationship for 10 years. I got out of the relationship and didn't date for 10 years. And I found my soulmate within 4 months. And so it's interesting. Then all of a sudden I watched your episode, and it made me want to really ask you, how do you get to this point? How do you get to this mindset of being comfortable, being in a family, and being able to see that, okay, we work good as a family unit, but it's not working here? Is that something that, to speak to? How do you keep trying? How do you, keep trying for yourself? How do you keep trying for your kids? How do you keep trying for, marriage? Well,
let me just say, coming into the show, I really wanted to be Charrisse, and I wanted to, I'm figuring a lot of people go through relationship issues, which they do, and a lot of us don't like to admit the stuff that we're going through, but I wanted to be my true self, and knowing that a lot of other people are going through different struggles, to see that, okay, she's going through it, I'm not alone, and see how I deal with it. Sometimes I don't know how I'm dealing with it, because each day it's a different story for me. It depends on what my mood is. I'm like 50 now.
What's your sign?
Cancer.
Oh, that's why, on top of all that.
Yeah, emotional sign. We're very emotional people. So, I really just want to stay true to my real story and my real struggles. And to answer your question, my children were the reason that I elected to stay in Potomac while my husband was working in New Jersey, because they already had a foundation there. They have their friends. They're in high school. They're not little kids. If they were tiny, we've done the uprooting before, and it didn't work out, and then we came back. So I didn't want to keep taking my kids through all of that. New Jersey's only 3 hours away. It's actually 2 states, not 10. So it's a 3 hours and 15 minutes door to door. So at any given moment, I can take the kids to see their father. It's a little more difficult for him because his job requires him to recruit, and it's ongoing. But when he has his moments, he's in Maryland. So,
So your son Jackson, I read somewhere that he might take in after his father's footsteps and
plays a little basketball.
Plays a little basketball.
Yeah, he wants to play for his father too.
Really?
He wants to go to Rutgers. Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
I think he should go somewhere else.
Okay. Why?
The only reason why, my husband is very critical. He has very high expectations. So basically, my son would need to be Kobe Bryant. To play for his father, and because he also has to answer to the fact that, like, this is my son, so I can't do special things for my child. I know that's what he would do, because he's done it before. He coached one of his teams before, and I was one of those parents that was like, fire the coach, even though it was a volunteer job. Like, fire him, put Jackson in, but he didn't want to seem like he was just making special preferences for his child. So he would do the same thing at college.
Within, okay, so you decide to stay in Potomac for your children. Last week we said, you had sent him a text asking almost for a divorce. Or saying, hey, is this what we should basically be doing? But you're probably not going to even respond. It's just that was really powerful, because 18 years of knowing somebody, and just to have that coldness. I've been in that situation within 2 years, and that coldness hurt me, so I can imagine that. have you seen that the women on Potomac, we see the fun little shade and all that stuff, but as you opened up, that kind of starts, we're going to see that kind of slow down and see the women kind of coming together more?
Yeah, I think so. One of my missions is to get everyone to a point where we can just be real about our lives and just put it out there. And I think that the public would appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Like the real stuff. We are, each of us have a crazy situation. Like if you look at each storyline, oh my gosh,
we could go down the
we
line.
are jacked up. So we have so much stuff going on within our personal lives that we really don't need extra drama because our lives are drama packed. So to be able to open up and just share all of that real deep stuff that you go through, I mean, I'm telling you.
And I love it because we don't get the fighting and the physical fighting.
But we fight with words.
Yes, exactly. And but even they're not. It doesn't come off as malicious.
No, because you know what the difference is. We're friends. We really care.
And you
about
want
each
the
other.
other person to do better. That really yes.
So if I'm angry, I'm really mad. So if I'm mad at you and I'm your friend, it's not like a person who say. I'll just use Ashley since she's like the newbie who comes on the block. The friendship hasn't been invested yet. So whatever goes on with you and Ashley, you probably don't care.
Right.
I do, but other people probably wouldn't care, so they wouldn't be as sensitive to her feelings per se. But because for the most part, and now Ashley is part of that friendship circle. So we do care about each other. It's genuine. And so the arguments are real and the emotions are real. So you will see a lot of emotions from everyone.
It was so interesting to see Ashley coming into this situation. And Ashley and Katie are they're two interesting characters for the show because, as far as them versus you ladies, two totally different vibes.
Yeah.
But it is beautiful to see you guys kind of taking each other in and seeing you guys go to the whiskey foxtrot and
you know what? Ashley reminds me of, I have nieces Ashley's age, and so I hang out with my nieces all the time. So when I see Ashley, I call her my niece, you know, and it's like that type of thing where she's actually a very mature person for her age. That's what it
comes across.
Yeah, that chick has it going on. I mean, she really does. You have to give her credit, so I'm sorry, there might be a little jealousy when it comes to Ashley. I'm just saying.
Okay, so you work with tons of charities. That's obviously important to you to give back. Within the world of Potomac, it's kind of what the women do there. Let me see.
Yeah, they do.
Katie's running around right now, trying to get people.
Literally right now, she's running around here in California, trying to do a charitable fundraiser.
All right, girl, make your coin. So she was running around. Karen unfortunately couldn't work with her. We see Giselle willing to take a stance and help out,
or at least pretend.
Or pretend to. Is this I just want to know this world. Is this as far as who you work with, who you help? I mean, we heard that the Rolodex, and I was kind of I was kind of shocked that you would ever say to someone, "I want that Rolodex."
Do people even use Rolodex anymore? No. I'm just saying. But, yeah, spell it. But at any rate.
But a little bit of thirstiness in some people?
I think the thirst.
I'm not saying Katie.
The thirst is real.
It is.
It's a little dehydrated, actually. But
well, actually, since we're talking tea and thirst. So Katie last week was also at that party that you guys had all gone to with Mr. Andrew. And we're just all trying to figure out, girl, what do people in Potomac be saying about Katie and her love life?
First of all, let me just say, Katie and I are very good friends. I love Katie. Katie's funny. I mean, she's a free spirit. So I
don't feel like she belongs in Potomac. And here's why I'll say that.
I think she's in her own world.
Yep. But I felt like she was so judged at that party.
No, she was.
If it was any other party, no one would care.
It didn't bother. Excuse me. It didn't bother me at all. I might have been a little jealous. My husband's in New Jersey. I have to go home and sleep with my dogs. So, but at any rate, they don't really talk about her in a negative way. I think right now she's looking pretty desperate for this guy. So people will come up to me and they're like, "What is up with Katie? Is she why is she so desperate for the guy to marry her? And I'm like, well, I don't think she's really desperate. She just really wants to get married. You know, she's really a nice person. And, you know, there was like...
So my question is since you are friends with her, would you say Andrew is a good suitor for her?
I think she should take her time. I really do. Unfortunately, people feel that, okay, I have children, I should be married, and they want to have this perfect family situation appearance. There's a lot of appearances that go on, but you don't have to, you know, put up that facade for everybody, because at the end of the day, you need to be happy, and you don't have to marry the first thing that, you know. I
always think it's hard too with kids and letting the kids get attached to somebody that you're dating and stuff, because then it's almost like you feel stuck
obligated.
In it.
Yeah. But I'm hoping actually she waits. And I've actually been whispering in her ear, like, don't rush this, please. Just take your time.
I really hope we get to see the side of you talking about getting the girls to open up and talk about their true selves. Because as I watch a lot of different reality TV, at first it was fun, and then I start like watching it, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm feeling really negative a lot of the time. It almost becomes that everybody is trying to shade and, you know, put down. And nobody has conversations about the important topics. I watched something like half the reality TV shows out where they're like having these threesomes and, you know, marriages and babies and all this stuff, and it's like, well, no one's talking about why this is happening. So I appreciate you going onto the show, putting something like this out, especially because, I mean, like you said, your husband's an introvert. So to feel like, okay, well, I have a story and I have to say this for myself. I appreciate that from you, and I really hope we get to see that more.
Oh, you will.
On the
and
show.
Trust me, you know, the remainder of the season, you're going to see a lot of interesting things unfold with all of the ladies and their truths and different things. And I think that people will really resonate with each of the ladies in different kind of ways. With
filming, has the people of Potomac kind of opened up a little more to it, or no?
I don't know yet. I'm scared to ask. I mean, people are nice, but I don't know how they really feel.
Right.
So tell me how you really feel. But we'll see. I don't know yet.
Just to put it out there, I saw that you won DC Dancing Stars chair.
Yeah, I did that.
All right, girl.
I did it. Yeah, it was fun. You know, it's for charity, and the thing is, I'm not really the best dancer.
Okay, that's fair, isn't it?
You know, I was actually named after a dancer, Charrisse. Have you ever heard of her?
Charrisse.
She's like an old-time dancer. She used to dance with Fred Astaire back in the day. And amazing dancer. I suck. I really do not dance well. So they give you won. Well, yeah, a lot of lessons. They gave you a certain amount of lessons, and then I had to pay extra for like double the lessons but you know, I ended up winning because it was based on dance and your fundraising. So like, if it was just dance, someone else won overall for dance, but I did pretty well.
All right.
I mean, I actually did really well considering the struggle it took to get to that same dance over and over and over and over.
There we go, Dancing with the Stars. Next season. You have a daughter, Skylar.
Yes.
What is she into? What would you not want her to do? What are you open to her doing?
You know what? Skylar's into so much. She used to do competitive cheer. We just took her out of that this year because she takes a lot of courses and they're difficult, and she's up till like 3 o'clock in the morning, and it just wasn't working. So we had to pull her from that. But now she's able to totally focus on academics. She has a science project that she won with NASA. It's going to outer space to be tested.
Wait, what is it?
It's okay.
I'm a nerd, so I'm here for
basically, there's this, and don't ask me, Salmonella.
Wait,
whatever.
She's how old?
She's 15. It's a bacteria called something Salmonella, something like, I don't know.
Salmonella bacteria.
But it's a bacteria that pulls metals out of things. Okay. So there's I forgot, was it Pluto? They found water somewhere. They found water. I don't know.
I think Mars.
Astronomy's not my thing
either.
Girl,
me either.
But one of those planets had some water. Oh, Mars. Okay. Okay. So they're going to test the water. Her whatever,
Bacteria?
salmonella, and see how it pulls the metals out of the water. And yeah, so that's gonna probably in the spring.
All right, girl, you better raise these children.
Maybe she'll be a doctor. Okay. Yeah.
So wait, so she low-key created like a bacteria.
No, she didn't. The bacteria already existed.
She just figured out how to utilize it
To pull out, and like even in lead, it would pull lead out of water. Different things, which in our area, and like the DC area, there's very high lead in water. So we'll see.
Girl, your daughter might be able to help Flint, Michigan.
I know.
Okay, so as far as you guys have wrapped filming, correct?
Mm-hmm, yes.
So what do you do in between time now that the cameras are kind of pushed away? What is life like right now?
You know what? It was so scary at first. Well,
them leaving or them coming in?
No, well, when they first came, it was something to adjust to. It was different, but you kind of adjust to it relatively quickly because you kind of sounds odd, but you forget that the cameras are there. Mm-hmm. The people become your family, you know.
That's so just interesting.
Like, so I forget they're not related to me sometimes, you know, and you find yourself very comfortable, which not necessarily is a good thing to get too comfortable. I'm learning that. But they're great. You know, we had Bravo. One thing I will say about the Bravo network and True Entertainment, they are like the masters of this thing. And they came in and they have their stuff down pat. You know, it took me a long time to figure all this out. I was a little slow. I was on the little slow bus, but I caught up. So, yeah. But it's interesting.
Well, okay, so now where can everyone keep in contact with you as far as like keeping up with all the tea?
I'm at one Charrisse on Instagram, and I'm Charrisse Jordan on Twitter, I think.
There we go.
Social media, I suck.
Marissa, we have her Twitter, Charrisse Jordan.
Yep, at Charrisse Jordan.
There we go.
All right, I got it right. Yeah.
So. But do your kids push you for it at all, or how are they with the whole filming? Were they like, Mom?
Can I just say no? They love it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, my daughter, she's very social. She takes after me. My son, not so much. Takes after his father. But now he's like, okay, we're going to start taping again. Now he wants to have his own parties and stuff. I'm like, really? You know. So it's just they really love it. But the social media content. That thing scared the life out of me.
Wait, so, okay, before we wrap up, I want to get that out of you. So, obviously, we're in a world, 2016, where, you know, we could make a funny face right now, someone will screenshot it, and then it's like, we looking like Rocky.
You have to watch everything you do now.
So, what was, like, the first one where you're like, wait a minute, whoa. Like, moment where you were like, wait a minute, I shouldn't have done that, or wait, why did I do that, or now I look like this, and they all think this, and you can't really talk to a million people, so it's like,
and then they're filming for 3 months, and they can't put 3 months of taping in 10 hours, so it's like, okay, but
do your kids like run up to you and say, Mom, look, I'm scrolling on the internet and I found this?
No, well, it's not that bad yet, but just some of the people who are on there, they can be a little mean.
Girl.
I mean, I'm like, you have nothing else to do but talk about me? What, really? But then you have to understand the mindset of some of those people. Cuckoo. But yeah, so that part of it, you know, took some adjusting. And now, like, when I go out and people are coming up to me and they're like, Charrisse, and I forget I'm on the show. And I'm thinking I'm supposed to know you, and I'll hug you. And then I'm like, okay, I don't even know this person, but...
I love it.
But it's fun.
So you've calmed down with the social media stuff, though.
Yeah, you know what? I really think that the recent episodes kind of softened people up a little bit because they're seeing a better side of me. I definitely
agree with that. I think it was, we're so used to shows giving us little bits of the people that we see. They some of them don't, the shows don't go deeper past the surface, and I feel like that one was just a real, like, still for Ashley and Katie, I don't feel like we haven't personally seen that. Giselle either. You know, so to see that out of you makes me positive and feel like, okay, this franchise is really going to take it there with these women. And I love to hear that you guys are friends and that's the route that you guys as you know, women really want to take.
And it's been inspiring because so many women have come up to me and they saw that episode when I saw it, because I got it like a couple days before, and I was dreading the crying scenes. And I'm like, well, I don't want to be that person. But people have come up to me and they've sent me messages and they're like, oh my God, when I saw that scene, I cried with you. And they've shared their stories that they're going through. I mean, it's so, I'm like, wow. I didn't think it was going to have that type of impact, but it really did. I guess it was a good thing.
I love it. I appreciate it. I wish you the best of luck with the
you.
show and the series. And congratulations to you. I just can't get over you kids. Like, Skylar girl, you better work. Thank you for coming in. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys check out Real Housewives of Potomac every Sunday you guys moved to like 10, right now?
Did we move?
Did it move to 10? Or it's 9?
We were 9.
9, 8 Central.
On Bravo.
Boom, on Bravo. Also, make sure you guys check out the Real Housewives of Potomac on AfterBuzz, the after show on Mondays at 7 p.m. I'll be there talking about it. Till next time. Peace.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.